Oh, look at this intro. These wrestlers.
Yeah, they look like they're
Definitely all of ours.
real life. And not some computer model or anything.
Don't look behind the curtain.
No, that'd be backstage. We're constantly backstage. Here's hoping nothing happens backstage this time.
Here's hoping those pyrotechnics don't light anything on fire. In Salt Lake City, Utah today.
That's where we're at. Isn't that where you're at, Griff?
Ah, no, I'm video streaming this. I'm working from home.
Now, what do we have on the docket today? Oh, right, that's right. Our very first match, I decided to give Robert his title match against me. I said I was going to take on all contenders, and that's what we're doing. I'm taking on all contenders. Robert specifically said he wanted a shot, and I'm giving him a shot.
It's the big man himself up first, though. Looking glorious as always.
Oh, what the hell?
Wait, he teleported in front of him.
Yeah, it's weird. How'd he get out there? I think we would have seen him with a bat.
Everett continuing the long-standing grudge, attacking him before he even gets to the ring.
Once again, Robert and Emmerich at it again. Brought a bat, didn't use it.
He used it once. He got the sneak attack bonus damage there, but he's
No, I think you find all he did was run up the walkway and pushed him over, and then threw the bat on the ground.
Look, that walkway is not matted at all. It kind of hurts. Like, unlike the concrete over there, it's nice and stable.
Oh, and a
Real firm
flying
landing.
leg drop, which apparently really hurt his elbow for some reason.
Oh, wow, Rob really feeling extra athletic today. Just going ahead and flying at him.
Still, do not know why Emmerich is so hard up against fighting Rob. Any chance he can get. This isn't even his match.
They're trading punches, but it's like hitting a brick wall.
I know. Rob, 640 pounds of mutant, or whatever I said before.
I mean, I guess we could go ahead and call that match conclusion, getting him into the ring.
It wasn't even a match, Griffin. No reason that Emmerich should have even been there.
Who we got here next?
A brand new addition to our lineup. Dennis.
Dennis, looking extra classy. God Save the Queen right behind him. No, this is Alma Mater, my bad.
Yes, it's a classic in the wrestling circles.
It just takes me a little bit, to get my classical music unconfused sometimes.
Well, I'm sure true wrestling fans who for some reason decided to watch this well, properly know where this comes from. And I don't mean alma mater shit.
Oh, I mean, that's the title of the piece itself.
Yeah, yes,
whatever
I
it's
know.
used in, it's used everywhere.
Hey, it's that guy. But yes, a newest addition to a old member of the crew. Dennis finally appears in the circle. Or the square. Whichever
Now,
one
he
you
might
start.
be a little bit older than the others around here, but he's ready to show the other whippersnappers what's what.
That's true. He might be older, or he could just look older. It's hard to tell. And we've decided to give him his debut match up against one of our current GMs.
Here we go, dancing his way on stage. Red Rabbit.
Currently share a game together of Torchbearer, currently on Sunday mornings.
Well, let's hope those rivalries from that game don't spill out into the ring today. Or maybe we should.
In fact, no rivalry exists between these two. Just thought it'd be fun to put them in a game together. As I believe this is the only other person that Dennis would recognize.
Well, here they go. First round.
Shoved right into the corner.
And they're just holding it there. Referee trying to get between them. Definitely trying to break this up a little bit. Get some action going.
You know, it really occurs to me that if it was that easy for the referee to push them apart, they probably weren't pushing that hard. Not to dissolve the curtain of realism here, but
Of course, the referee perfectly fine with him getting slapped in the corner, just as long as he's not getting pushed.
oh, and that flying knee into the corner.
Dennis already down on the ground.
Some might say putting an old man into the ring with a guy dressed up like a red rabbit. It's not. I don't know.
You might say this might be an unfair competition.
Some might say we just want to see an old man get beaten.
Now, thinking about this, he does have wrestling experience, right? We did train him before we sent him in there.
I don't know. You're HR.
Oh, dang, I forgot, didn't I? Well, this is going to be a quick match, everybody. And, oh, wait, no, he's got something under his belt after all.
I merely asked if you wanted to wrestle. I assumed that you took care of all the paperwork.
Bold of you to assume I didn't just leave it on my desk.
Apparently he's got hops, though. Beating the rabbit in that respect.
A match of equals, even, maybe.
I don't know, both of them have at least punched air twice.
A match of equals.
Now, no one can actually tell what's going on the other side of that because...
I believe he's slowly breaking his neck.
Our cameraman decided he only wanted to videotape one side of the ring.
Well, we could have gotten more, but, you know, worker shortages.
In fact, you can tell there's people in the front row there that aren't even watching the match.
But how quickly this has turned, with Dennis finally taking full control of this and putting Red in the corner now.
Yes, really responding to that flying knee from earlier.
I'm not sure he should be up there like that, but he's definitely got to go for it. And drop kicks right to the face.
Really bringing Red down to the mat.
Oh, and the impact right there. Now, as I understand it, I believe Dennis is a doctor by trade, isn't he?
Is he?
So he knows... I believe so.
I know that we did give him the nickname The Surgeon, but I did not know if it was actually true.
I was reasonably certain it was, but he definitely knows how to bring the pain, but it gets served right back to him in an instant.
What is going on now?
It looks like pandering is deciding it's time for him to take out a grudge on Red Rabbit.
He's
pulled out a hammer.
A sledgehammer, yeah, right to the nuts.
And he doesn't hold back. Well, I suppose that is still the win for Red.
Somebody had to win, I guess, and our judges have declared it was Red. A nut shot equals a win. It's a walk-off.
He didn't get put into the match, but he still got his damage in.
And yet we brought him out for another one.
He's taken a short break. He's gotten his nap in. And now he's coming back.
Perhaps somebody who was scheduling our lineup forgot that he came right back after getting nut shot by a sledgehammer.
If nothing else, it just demonstrates that this rabbit just keeps on going. And going. And going.
Well, you
Sponsor us, please.
He had to come back, Griff, specifically for our first match in tonight's new belt debut challenge.
Tell us about the belt debut.
Our newest belt is the GM belt, to dictate who is the best GM on our server. And our current bout tonight is all of our current GMs.
Here we go then. We have lessons being escorted by security, making sure there's no one getting jumped in the back room this time. We've learned our lesson.
Yes, there's been way too many backroom assaults in our league as of late.
But is it that to protect him or to protect everyone else?
Who's to know?
The Machine. So, notably, I think these might be the only two current GMs who have actually run the same system at some point.
You mean Ironclaw, I'm assuming.
That'd be right.
That would be correct to the best of my knowledge, Griff.
There we go.
To the best of my knowledge.
Of course, today we got our Raw rule set, and we'll see who's the true master of it.
We may, in fact, even be working under Extreme rule set.
Now, it definitely sounds like the crowd isn't on lessons side today. But with a man versus machine fight like this, well, maybe they're just hoping to see Red make a comeback after getting ambushed earlier today.
For a long time now, the crowd has not liked Lessons. I do not know why. He was not set this way. He has clearly done something over the course of his career that it made the crowd not like him.
Someone in the front of the crowd is pulling up the sign that they can't see, and I honestly have to say maybe they should check out their prescription. But there's at least one person who finds Leston their hero.
Yeah, so that pop up right there as I was looking for signs.
And who else is coming in? Rob.
Fresh from defeating Emmerich in a brawl outside the ring.
Mm-hmm. Now, he's the only one currently running Pathfinder, and I don't think we've actually run it before now, have we?
Not on the channel, no.
In that case, he has a special little niche here with us today.
Fresh off of running Dragon Age as well.
Now, we have two Titans in the ring and one highly agile combatant so far. And honestly, I have to say, the way I've seen these go before, usually the Titans end up getting ganged up on. People realize the threat that they pose.
Yes, but Griff, tell me, how many GMs do we currently have that are active?
You know what? I'd have to do math to do that, and I'd have to think. Is that 1, 2, 3? Is it 4?
Indeed. And tell me, if there's 2 Titans and 4 people, how could the Titans be teamed up on?
You know, that's a good question. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
Well, at least it means we'll have our second new addition to the league.
The whole stage goes dark for him. But who is it? Who is this mystery new GM? It's Dr. Manhattan. No, it's Dan. It's
From
even
the
better.
past, as he says.
The Ghost.
You see, there's a real problem with Dan. And sometimes he's completely veiled in darkness, and other times, this all you can see is the sunlight behind his camera.
Reminds me, maybe I should open up a window right here and oversaturate my camera.
Know Your Raw is not responsible for blindness as a result of staring directly into Dan. But yes, this sets the stage for the first elimination round of our GM belt competition.
We've got Red, we've got our Titans, and we got our Light in the Darkness here. Who will come out on top in this 4-way brawl? Who will be the best current GM?
And of course, the only way to legitimately test this out is have them wrestle. No rules knowledge necessary.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not even going to base it on the games they play. Wrestling. That's the only way to figure out.
Red coming straight out the gate, trying to dropkick Rob, but only managing to put himself down.
Dan getting thrown out of the ring by, again, somebody I believe you've described as a Titan. Head bashed against the side of the ring. One of Lesson's old favorite moves.
They've split up against the heavyweights, and each of the lighter weights are just having a tough time dealing with them.
I think you'll find, though, Griff, mathematically not being teamed up on.
Oh, but each of them taking a turn for the worse.
Yes, somehow Red able to do jump moves, even though having gotten hit in the crotch twice by a sledgehammer not 5 minutes ago.
If anything, maybe he's just taking his anger out on Rob here. Setting Rob up just to try to take him down again.
At least Dan recognizes that in a wrestling match, somebody has to occupy the ring.
Rob goes down, and he's just taking a break right here. And Red is going to town. Just
Throwing
absolutely
hands.
demolishing.
Throwing hands like crazy.
What's Dan got to say about this? He says, no, it's my turn.
Here, I'll leave him hanging.
Lessons finally reboots, though, and gives a firm leg straight to his chest.
Going right after his tag team partner and throwing him out of the ring.
He's saving him for later.
A most uncomfortable pin maneuver by both of these competitors. Reversal after reversal here.
But that's just the sort of game that Red can win. And 3 of them go down at once in just a circle.
And somehow,
it's crazy.
Weirdly, the audience hates it, as you can hear from all the booing that we're receiving.
I think that's just because Lessons is the last one standing of that.
So many whiffs. People apparently do not remember where the people they're trying to punch are.
I do believe the head injuries are finally starting to catch up with them.
Well, to be fair, Lessons already had that. That's why half of his head is now made of metal.
And Lessons, I think, is hitting below the belt there, too, when he connects.
Who is holding who right now? It's hard to tell. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Rob returning the favor after he got thrown out of the ring earlier and just hurling Dan straight to the ground.
As Red demonstrates some amazing athletic capability.
And it looks like Lessons is starting the count. And Red gets the pin and takes the win.
As Robert argues with the ref. Robert just was not able to interrupt the countdown in time.
You really can't mess with a man who could do a cartwheel straight into a pin.
As we see here, oh, yeah, he punched Red in the back moments after the third count was given.
And it's technicalities like that that make him the greatest current GM.
Technicalities, I think you'll find, are exactly what we're looking for in a rules-as-written setting.
Exactly. That's what Raw states are here at Know Your Rule.
Know your role. Rules as written. That's exactly what that hashtag Raw in the upper left-hand corner stands for.
Alright, moving on to the next match.
This is the qualifying match to see who will get a shot at taking the American Championship title. If you have drinks or need to go to the bathroom, now is the chance, as we will be sitting here through Arkloid's entrance for the next 2 minutes.
You know, when we put the time limit up to 2 minutes for these people's intro, I didn't think that they would actually try to fill the entire time. But Arkloid's always up for a challenge.
It is both creative, interesting. The crowd loves it, because apparently they're all members of his cult. But at the same time, plenty of time to get a drink, refresh, go out to the lobby and get some popcorn if you want.
Of course, as mentioned here, we do rules as written. And this is exactly the kind of technicality we like to see around here. So, who else, who currently has the American belt? Or is this a new one that is being passed around?
It's being passed around, but at the same time, not new. I do believe it's either Lightfoot or Justin, which are the current holders. I want to say it is Lightfoot, but, you know, a lot happens between these months.
I do believe Justin actually won a belt last time for Babylon 5, didn't they?
Nope, that would be Gary. You're getting normal names confused with one another.
I clearly am.
I know when we got names like Arkloid and The Lessons, it's hard to remember ordinary people names like Justin or Gary.
But we have the animal and the machine. They're so much more exciting.
I think you find The Lessons and The Machine are one and the same. Again, if this man just walked to the ring like a normal-ass person, half of the runtime of his entrance would be gone.
Ah, but Arkloid is the animal. He knows no rules of society here.
Again, audience loves it. No one's given a strong reaction as when Arkloid joins the ring, as you see everybody in his cult raising their arms.
Well, we gotta sell tickets one way or another. One how, is that even a statement? I don't even know anymore.
I don't
But
know,
you know,
but I'm sure somebody will put it on a poster board and hold it over their head in the background at some point. Good God, this entrance is long.
But again, like you said, his cult loves it, and they keep buying tickets, so we just keep escalating the prices on.
So long as the stadium gets filled, who cares, right?
Our
Again,
moneymaker deserves it.
watch the people in the background. They're all about it.
Now, but here's the real question. Is he a heel, or is he not, if he runs a cult like this and has this dark theme?
They aren't
Or is he
booing
just
him.
the dark hero?
They aren't booing him like they do Lessons, so clearly he's doing something right.
Ah, very true. And now we have our second American coming out here.
United States champion, that's him. It was Justin after all.
And of course, Justin wastes no time.
Well, that sauntering pace of his, he seems to be wasting some time. Just not as much as Arcloy did.
He is at least enjoying it. But he has the belt and he has a right to flaunt it.
Even though it mysteriously phases in and out of his own jacket.
Well, you see, the belt is actually made out of phasium, a rare type of matter only found in wrestling matches.
Yeah, specifically in our ropes. As you might notice, people phase in and out of the ropes around our rings as well.
Quite true. It really saves on costs only having them exist half the time.
Look at that. Oh, wow, that was like a tenth of Arcloyd's entrance theme.
And our third combatant today, Blood and Bones.
That's the famous call sign of Ailish, or Ailish, or whatever you want to call them these days. Joining us from our associated or unassociated streams, depending on how they are with us these days. Hellbent streaming.
I believe last time he actually put somebody in the ground for a moment, didn't he?
Allegedly killed somebody. We're not going to take a firm legal stance on that one way or the other.
Well, like I said, we do have the sarcophagus in the background. Golu technology is very handy for letting him kill Pandarin twice in a row.
And come back evil, as it's known to do.
But he was evil to begin with.
See, here's my confusion, where my confusion originally lies. Lightfoot does hold the belt, as did Justin.
Ah, it's just a slightly different one. And of course, he's just got a classic theme here.
No one more American in our lineup than Lightfoot is.
And no more American way to dress than in full body armor.
It's a real commentary on our times, Griffin.
Well, I do believe at least half of Arcloy's cult is packing today.
Good God, if that was a run-in that I could cause. Assassination attempt on the ring.
Well, at least he would survive it. He's got the body armor.
Assuming it's real.
Are you implying perhaps any of this is fake?
Of course not. My investors would have my head.
Oh man, the fight begins before the investors get on the stage.
Everyone begins with almost the same move.
Just a real duet happening here.
And whereas before it was a lot of throwing of hands, now it seems to be a lot of throwing of feet.
Arcloyd here standing up and saying that he's not going to get put down to the ground like Pandarin was. But he is going down to the mat.
It seems to be a real match of the sleeveless. I do appreciate all the USA signs in the background, despite most of our competitors being from the USA.
Well, to be fair, this is the USA belt. Whoever takes it home is going to be the strongest American in the ring. And of course, everyone is engaging the proud American tradition of just curb stomping your opponent mercilessly.
And hurling them back and forth. Everyone loves to get tossed out of the ring. Oh, I'm sorry. What I meant to say was everyone loves to get their opponent tossed out of the ring. That can be very confusing sometimes.
And of course, the second time over the shoulder. Arkloyd is no longer moving. He may actually be dead already.
We've seen that once before to another one of Ailish's opponents. Allegedly. Allegedly. So long as he doesn't run him into the stairs again, as we've told him numerous times no longer to do.
The counter finally happening, though, with Arkloyd saying no.
It would probably benefit both of them if they returned to the ring at some point.
First attempt at a ring at a countdown, failing.
As everyone now rejoins the ring. It almost seems like he punched Lightfoot in the back of the head.
Justin just noping out of having to fight Ailish there.
Oh, what's Arkloyd going for over there? Yet another sledgehammer. Oh, right into the leg of Lightfoot.
We've got to stop storing those underneath the ring for some reason.
Oh, and he throws it outside the ring before the ref can notice. I guess Arkloyd has taken to cheating.
Well, we've got a grudge here to settle between Arkloyd and Ailish. While Justin just gets thrown onto the stairs. Just hauled around like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, well, once again, anyone who's ever watched Ailish's matches knows that you get thrown into the ring entrances, you don't get back up.
And here we are back to the curb stomping section of our American belt.
Nothing more American than the flying Superman move Ailish just pulled on Arkloyd.
Ailish taking down everyone's favorite hero and cult leader.
Lightfoot not going for it, though. No one gets a pin while he's paying attention. And apparently Justin just antagonizing them both.
Well, that is a bit in his wheelhouse there. He helps Arkloyd back up, but it looks like...
Again, it's very difficult to get a pin in once both of your competitors are there watching you.
Well, with half of them down on the mat, it's up to Arkloyd to try to seal the deal for his fans here today.
I don't know that they're fans. They
himself.
Are at least cult members. They may have drank in the Kool-Aid. Oh, Justin misses with the boot.
Trying to get in on the curb stomping action, but he just doesn't have the experience in brutalizing his opponents yet.
And yet another overthrow on the ring.
Finally, Lightfoot recognizing the problem is his opposition. This might be their first encounter against each other, but it breaks up.
I have to say, Griff, there are a large number of punches to the back of the head that happen in our matches.
It's the American way. And just everyone pounding on this poor raccoon. How could they do it?
No, actually, that was a double response to no, not pin that guy in front of us. Surprising that Lightfoot didn't take the opportunity to go for a pin there, seeing as everyone outside the ring is currently occupied.
And amazingly enough, it's Lightfoot who might be putting Arkloyd into the grave instead of Ailish. Justin finally getting back around into the ring.
As Arkloyd kicks out of a 2 count.
I think the count may have drawn his attention, but he's, I think he's happy just to see everything progress until he gets kicked in the face.
And Lightfoot goes for it again, while both members outside the ring are occupied. And successfully pins Arkloyd.
There we go. Justin and Ailish just unable to keep their eye on the ball here.
Which means that our current Universal Champion now has a shot at the belt for the American Championship. Some might see that as a downgrade. I see it as a completely different belt.
Well, nobody can say no to having more belts and more trophies.
Especially not the Pilgrims.
Oh, and straight to the mat with that one. A wonderful reversal there by Lightfoot.
I feel like Eilish's downfall this time was having a person outside the ring that would continue to move.
I do believe I'm getting word from the back room that Arcloyd may have to sell off one of his kids in order to eat now that he's not getting the bonus paycheck for the belt.
Are raccoons known for that? Also is Arcloyd a raccoon?
I believe so. Well, we tried to do our best in the costuming department.
As maybe you could not tell by what we did with an owl and maybe a raccoon.
Well, Lightfoot definitely soaking in with the zoo fans there. He's got plenty of time to celebrate as the next match goes underway.
So Robert gets pulled in once again for another match.
Rob, consistent fan favorite here.
For the longest time, he was an undefeated belt holder. I believe it was the Intercontinental Championship, which he only recently lost.
Well, given the opportunity, I'm sure he'll win it back today. Or maybe tomorrow. But what is this match about today?
Let me just check my paperwork here, and I'll get back to you in just a moment.
Checking the schedule. Oh, wrong schedule, I see. You gotta hurry, he's getting up into the ring. He's almost done performing. Dodges, how much paperwork do you have over there? Digitize some of that. The pile just keeps on growing. Well, at least you got it sorted out. Well, here comes his second opponent. At least we get to go ahead and see into that. Maybe we'll eventually figure out what this one's for.
Maybe that's why I don't remember Griff, because I'm there.
Oh, is that it? Your duplicate's looking great today.
Now I remember. I'm sorry. It's not on the paperwork. That's why. I've decided to give Robert a chance at the title that was interrupted just earlier today.
Ah, there you go. Gotta give him the fair chance.
But I'm also rewarding foul play. I'm giving Emmerich a shot at the title as well.
Given how often he wants to try to steal it away, well, he deserves it.
Well, I feel fairly safe in the fact that I saw him wield a bat and didn't use it. Which either means he doesn't know how bats work, or is incapable of using a weapon against another person. In which case, I'm more than willing to enter the ring with a man.
On one hand, he wants to get the sneak attack. On the other hand, he wants to play fair. It's a hard balance to strike.
All it took was seeing myself to remember what this match was about.
But here you are, nice and full of energy for your first match of the day. I can only hope Rob has enough energy left after a few of his previous meetings.
Lampshading the fact that, yes, I will be in another match today. Remember, we've only seen the current GM lineup.
Ah, that's right. We have the previous ones.
I'm happy that my avatar does the same fucking motions that I do.
Emmerich, of course, here with some new moves and a cartwheel.
That's right. Gorgeous Princess Daddy is here to wrestle. I think you'll find it's really hard to generalize a person that you've never seen before. But as we begin, he is full of elements of French culture through the lens of an American.
Well, we gotta appeal to our crowd here too, but if nothing else, he definitely has some amount of class in one way or another.
At the very least, he did greenlight this look of his own before anything went there.
At least the crowd is eating it up. They definitely love him. For all of his antics, his backstabbing, and of course, dropping his baseball bat. The crowd still wants to see him here today. Just look at how excited they are.
It might be an element of mystery, Griff. Who the hell knows is under that helmet?
And here we go. We've got a belt match, and it's a three-way.
I'm going to keep the sexual comments to myself.
I always just thought they were implicit.
I think you mean
and
explicit.
Here it goes.
Here, I'll just stand here and watch.
But you finally roll initiative and just start taking it out on Rob, the biggest threat here in the ring.
Throwing hands.
Taking the American angle and just beating him down. But Rob returns the favor at one blow.
I think you find this is the actual thing you were talking about before, where Titans get teamed on.
Emmerich just rubbing it in to Rob, keeping that rivalry alive.
It's always good when only one member of the wrestling team is up on their feet and doing absolutely nothing.
Sometimes you just gotta stretch and gloat.
The way some of these people are moving, you'd think they'd been wrestling or at least all night already, even though they haven't been.
Amazing here. He saves Emmerich, comes in to save you from going out of the ring, but then takes you down anyway, and then you just roll out on your own.
With an amazing backflip kick of some sort, which you'd think a man that weighs 640 pounds would not be able to accomplish.
There we go. Unlike some of the other matches previously, all combatants are just constantly at each other's throat. There is very little ganging up here.
In fact, it seems like they're interrupting each other every which way. Breaking grabs, punching each other, kicking each other in the shins.
All three of these wrestlers here today are highly experienced, and they know the consequences of showing their hand too fast.
With a sweet standing uppercut.
Reversal into reversal. I didn't think Rob had it in him.
It's funny how our cameraman doesn't seem to move sometimes, but now seems to be hovering above the ring like some sort of god.
Oh, that's what the hover chair was for.
Once again, we hide something underneath the ring. When are we going to get rid of the sledgehammer?
I think it's the same one, actually. We just keep putting it back there.
Rob decides hitting somebody with a sledgehammer once is good enough and gets rid of the only weapon available to them.
Rob going up to soak up the fans for a little bit. Everyone considering if they want to join him, but opt to go back to the ring for now. And here you are taking out the trash with Emmerich.
Dropping him directly onto the rope.
Only for Rob to take his turn and take you down next.
With a big foot right to the face. And then to the back shoulder. Rob fan of the submission moves as Emmerich sits there and watches.
I think he's in the middle of recovering. Oh, but a wonderful kick to the face to free yourself, but only sandwiching you between your other opponents.
Once again, interrupting each other as they try to take me on.
But now it's 1v1, Rob versus Emmerich.
Right next to a weapon.
But Rob doesn't need one, he is the weapon.
Again, at 640 pounds, landing directly on your face.
Yet Emmerich is still able to keep him under control, and well, everyone's got the hops today, though.
One assumes that having a giant ceramic helmet on prevents at least a little bit of damage from coming through.
I think we were making fun of the body armor Lightfoot was wearing earlier, but honestly, the helmet is probably the best protection.
Rob taking a sarcastic rest in that back corner there for a moment. as I get dropped on top of a sledgehammer. And Emmerich decides to take a nice little nap.
I think the referee is trying to figure out if this is a legit hold. It doesn't matter as you break free and take your revenge.
And once again, completely interrupting each other's moves.
Just an ultra combo straight out of you, though. But as always, the wheel just keeps on turning to the last one standing.
Oh, in a 1 count. A pitiful 1 count.
Emmerich taking out his frustrations on your back there and just flipping you across the mat.
Gotta remember that Emmerich got hit by a sledgehammer in the leg not moments ago.
And I gotta say, it's amazing every single time Rob goes flying. 600 pounds just heading straight towards your face is not what you want to see.
Oh, and a backbreaker and then a fall backwards right onto the sledgehammer. I don't know the name of that move.
Rob tapping out for now, leaving you here to figure out if you're going to pin him or set him up to go down again.
I think I was temporarily stuck on our quantum elastic rope.
Oh, so close to the final count. Emmerich on so little energy there, but still able to break free.
Still getting twice the count that he was able to get on me.
And once again, Rob continuing the tradition of spinning the wheel.
Somehow sneaking into the ring. Will we get more than a 2 count tonight?
It's Rob's game to control right now with both combatants on the ground, but you'd go ahead and just use his own body to pick yourself back up and flip it on him.
Literally dropping him to the ground and assuming that would do enough damage to him to allow me a 3 count.
Our competitors here are just completely exhausted. Even if they're standing, they can't keep this up for much longer. This is a fight entirely about willpower now. Who's going to be able to stay standing at the end?
Emmerich getting to his feet and turning the tables on me.
Bouncing you off the rope and back to the board. There we go. He's doubled his count now. Everyone's had a 2 count on somebody else. Classic Emmerich move, just taking it out on your spine.
Kicks to the back of the neck. Very popular in our league. As he's getting tossed out the top rope.
Here we have it. Emmerich so constantly trying to take the belt, so constantly trying to take out his grudge, and he gets the 3 count on his rival, Rob, finally. Out of nowhere.
Hopefully this will put an end to all the backroom brawls, all the match interruptions, or it will inspire even more of them as Rob tries to take back the belt that he feels he incorrectly lost a chance to get.
Right. Is he rewarded here for his bad behavior, or will he finally find confidence and compassion now that he has a win?
No, I think he was unfairly rewarded for his behavior.
Well,
given that he assaulted a man with a baseball bat earlier today in order to get into this match and then won the match, I think he was rewarded for playing underhandedly.
That just goes to show you how things go down here and Know Your Role Raw. We don't care what happens as long as it's vaguely within the boundaries of the rules.
Some might say we're even quite erratic. But this is your new WWE champion, Emmerich, or otherwise known as Princess Gorgeous Daddy.
Well, we hope he enjoys that belt while he can, because now we have a cage match.
No, this is actually an elimination match for all of our former GMs. Who is the best former GM?
And today I finally revealed that, yes, I was the duplicant all along, as my real self is now down there in order to go ahead and lay the smackdown on all other opponents and show that I truly am the greatest GM of all time.
Ah, was it you that crumbled the wall and teleported in all those invisible minotaurs?
It totally was, probably. I'll lay claim to whatever I can for extra cred and reputation.
Much like
Just look
everybody,
at
have to take a moment to figure out what the fuck is this giant cage doing here.
Well, I have that question here too, so I can only imagine my double is just considering his odds over here inside the cage. He's
Or
probably
even
thinking,
what these isolation pods are all about.
you know, that's a good question too. He's going over to inspect them, and oh, he's just putting himself in there. Well, I guess that's also fair. It's nice and safe in there. It's a confined space. It's easy to understand. But we'll see who gets put up in next. It's Emmerich. He's back for another one. One belt isn't enough.
I think we probably should say Griffin, well known for running Warhammer, Urban Jungle, D&D. Anything else coming to mind while you have the time?
Gosh, I think I ran Vampire for a while too, didn't I?
I don't recall that. I'm not going to say one thing or another, but I don't recall that. However, Emmerich here, well known for running World of Darkness games or Chronicles of Darkness games. And that's it.
Yep, that's his wheelhouse, and I don't blame him. It's a fun system.
Fresh off his current victory as the WWE Champion, having been rewarded for bad deeds.
Now here's the question. Are our other GMs also champions? Do they have other belts here on the line?
Not in this match. This match is a determination to find out who's the best former GM.
I recognize that theme.
That's right, Lightfoot, well known for running Warhammer 40k.
Just having a good time on the battlefield, here to represent America all over again.
Doesn't go anywhere without his American flag.
Or his body armor.
Or his dog tags.
Or his belt.
Or apparently it's starched, because that flag is not moving, even though it's disappeared.
Just one of the amazing tricks you too can learn if you gain American citizenship today. You can make flags disappear.
Arguably, other countries do it, but they use it with lighter fluid.
Handing off the belt for safekeeping.
And also trying to figure out what these isolation chambers are about.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I'm running out of air in there.
I don't know. If you look at the ceilings, I think there are a great structure.
Of course, classic strategy. Gotta poke a couple holes into the box. But who is this? Why, it's Oni.
Well known for running Blades in the Dark. And
Was there another one?
yes, there was. I was hoping you were going to fill in the space.
Oh, right, Wicked Ones, which is a similar system.
Yes, there we go.
There we go. Now I remember. Great use of improvisational tools and understanding roleplay. And today he's just walking in here with confidence.
And a pair of Sennheiser headphones.
He's got to play his theme to himself 24/7. That's what keeps him so hype.
Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be able to find his way to the ring. Again, the most brave move of them all, Stark White Pants.
And of course our last contestant, the referee himself with 2 belts now in his hand.
The easiest way to earn belts is to have them handed to you.
Now that everyone's in their isolation chambers, the referee gets to run away with both of them and leave everyone else to fight.
Yes, I too once used to run games on this channel.
You did? Say it isn't so.
Was known for Myriad Song, D&D. There wasn't a completed sentence there, that was it.
Gotta end your sentences with periods, you know.
I could not remember any other games that I've run. Well, maybe there were more, who the hell knows. I am
you got at least 2 under there.
I am technically a former GM, though, so... Oh, I heard that woman. Don't know why she was so close to a microphone, but okay.
This is when we just got to get security and push some of the crowd away.
This is where I lock the chamber and say, haha, I've got you all in my pots now. This is my secret villain plot the whole time.
I can't help but notice that there are actually 4 cages and not 5 that I suspect need to be planned this all along.
As I say, once again, there are nowhere holes. You were right, I have killed you.
Curses, I followed merely the spirit of the rules without following the exact text of it like you.
Which is exactly how games are meant to be played. No cheating! Despite having previously rewarded Emmerich for cheating.
Well, now with everyone locked in, the chains up.
Oh, we still have one last former GM.
That's right. Our favorite designer here, Norman Rafferty. Always ready to show off his own stuff and start something new.
Yes, Sanguine Games. Also, arguably, I can't recall any other theme tune fitting a person better than this one fits Rafferty.
Kind of makes me think of like a sitcom intro or something for some reason.
Probably the shirt. I imagine that's all down to the shirt.
This Saturday on NBC, That's Our Rafferty. Starring Norman Rafferty, Theta, and guest star Griffin.
What hijinks will happen when neighbor Lightfoot has a barbecue?
Lightfoot pops in, he's just a local Kramer.
Yeah, slides into the room.
Audience claps like, I need 2 gallons of gasoline. Why? Oh, and here we go. The eternal grudge match starts.
Yes, getting charged across the ring and arm bound by Rafferty.
As always, the discussion goes ever on between Theta and Rafferty, but Rafferty's always ready with a salient point. But Theta, of course, never willing to give it up as he takes Rafferty to the ring, but takes himself down.
Or R2 quickly gets tired of the argument and just sits on the ground. Like a petulant child.
Rafferty really beating his point home here.
In fact, some might say, well after the point was dead.
But that's not going to stop him. Slight confusion of where you are real quick, letting you get in a quick counter-argument.
Some might say days after the argument was already over.
And it looks like we have a count going down. One of the chambers is about to open, but who's going to be the next one in on this discussion? Oh, it's the random wheel.
We do love the wheel here. I know your role, Raw.
Just as Rafferty is tapping out, Lightfoot is tapping in.
Unfortunately, he was not smart enough to realize you should probably enter the ring fighting and not just stand there.
Honestly, I think the blinking lights may have confused them for a little bit.
To be fair, we did not test anyone for epilepsy before this match. Now, Rafferty is one of our tallest members in the league. Although he has no weight advantage the same way that Robert or Lessons do.
That's true, but he's showing you what an experienced GM can do here, but Lightfoot coming in with the unexpected angle.
An almost too low blow.
But as we're picking our next one, he's setting you up on the corner. What is he gonna do?
Yes, nobody is halted by the lights going down.
Rafferty just fascinated as you get flipped straight back into the center.
There's no reason to interrupt somebody who is harming opponents that aren't you.
Emmerich decides he wants to go ahead and take on Rafferty, but Rafferty just showing him the business.
And once again, I am not going to get pinned that early in a match, despite having literally just wrestled 5 minutes prior.
There we go. No repeats here as you go ahead and split off from Emmerich.
Yes, on our Elimination Chamber challenge, the ring and the ground are the same level.
And those cages can take a beating there as you just slam Lightfoot into it. It looks like Emmerich's already getting pinned.
As the ref stops doing his impression of a man playing the piano.
Only 2 of us left here. Who's it gonna be? It's me! I'm ready to come in.
Which, of course, all those doing the math at home realize that Oni will be the last one to join, as he's the only man left standing in a chamber by himself, watching.
Oni just gets to take a nice relaxing break while I go ahead and show Emmerich just what these legs can do. And going straight to the pin. I remember what the goals of this are.
Is that even a 1 pin? I mean, was that even a 1 count, Griffin?
Well, I may as well try. It's just like me to rush the objective and then get punished for it as Emmerich just goes ahead and flips me on my back.
Yes, I think Lightfoot, Rafferty, and myself have been in a constant punch-kick loop on the outside of the ring.
Lightfoot finally going down and Rafferty going, and he's done with Lightfoot. Emmerich just throwing me across the ring for fun. Oni not even needing another countdown here. He just throws straight into the punch brawl.
As everybody apparently starts getting thrown back into the ring, as already Oni needs a rest. He is quite the old man.
Rafferty showing that even if he's been at this for some time, he's ready to keep on going.
And despite our constant arguments, I got Rafferty's back no matter what.
He knows when to tap out and just let you handle it. Meanwhile, Emmerich and I having a constant tussle. Constant reversals.
As Lightfoot apparently thought he could get a moment to play to the crowd, Rafferty is teaching him otherwise. Oh, only got a 1 count there on Oni.
This is honestly utter chaos. 6 people in the ring.
And you cross into the ring in the most uncomfortable way I could possibly imagine.
Well, you know, you just gotta like tiptoe in a little bit, you know?
Right, right. It just doesn't seem like your outfit has that much room for anything like that.
The material is a little firm, mostly to kind of prevent impacts from hurting as much. That doesn't stop most of the heavyweights, though.
Alright, as I position Oni to get a firm rest on the corner of the ring and just abandon him completely to it.
And here I am getting tag teamed by both you and Emmerich. Emmerich continuing to just take charge of the fight until Oni goes for the phase step. Bounces me in and out of the ring at a super position.
That quantum technology we've got on the ropes still needing a little bit more work.
Only someone like Oni has the real finesse to destroy quantum mechanics and the fabric of reality in order to both pin and throw their opponent at the same time.
I believe he probably rolled a 7 through a 9, Griff.
And now Lightfoot and I just taking our turns on Emmerich. Finally having to get a break, but Oni decides that no.
And Rafferty deciding to bring back an argument we had days before.
And he's taking the high ground only for you to
see it coming. Yes, like I always do.
Everyone is just getting absolutely manhandled again. Half of the crew just down on the ground.
Oh, with a kidney shot from Oni.
Oni failing to make his point there with Emmerich, but Lightfoot's ready to go ahead and interject.
And most everyone apparently deciding to now is a good time to leave the ring. And once again, you go the most uncomfortable method to cross the ropes.
Everyone wants to go and see the tangent here, while you and Oni have your own little discussion on the side. Oni really rubbing it in on you as you take your break.
With that old man shimmy that he's well known for.
Oh no, poor me. Constantly trying to get in and out of the ring.
Oh, it looks like some damage has been done to my pretty face. I believe you are being thrown over the ropes more than any man alive has currently been in a single match.
Well, you know, it's just like a bird to constantly go flying. Everyone just can't help it today. Emmerich going for absolute style points there. I don't think Lightfoot can recover after that one.
I mean, let's not forget the fact he just defied gravity by jumping forwards and then flying to the side for no reason.
But Emmerich showing he has absolutely no chill when it comes to this kind of debate. And almost stealing another one with his underhanded tactics.
So far, nobody is weak enough to be taken out by a single pin. And apparently you also couldn't figure out what you wanted to do with Raph on that corner.
Well, it's just like me to spin my wheels in place for a while.
Oh, with a vicious, I don't even know what sort of acrobatic maneuver that was to put your feet into Raph's chest from that position.
Alright, just using the corner as a fulcrum. Taking him down and moving straight into the pin. Almost getting the designer himself down.
But not even any of those high-flying antics were enough. Oh, and I have eliminated Oni from this competition.
Here we go, I have the ultimate high ground. I'm going down on Raph and all the way from the top.
You heard it here, folks. Griffin going down on Raph. But certainly that was the highest jump we've seen yet in the ring.
The ref doing the count from all across the stage.
As I once again take out another competitor. Much in the way people have accused me of eliminating GMs from the server, I am now eliminating them from this competition. Will I take out a third competitor?
Just one after another. We just can't keep up with you and your energy.
Once again, as I said, many people think I'm responsible for eliminating former GMs from the server, and here I am performing in a 3D manner.
Rafferty just unable to get himself back together. This has just gone on too long for him.
Lightfoot bleeding profusely from the face. The one place he didn't put any body armor.
And here you go with just one of your famous combo moves.
Will it be pin number 4?
Every single one out by your hand. Leaving just, of course,
the two people that started the competition. The ones that have been in the elimination ring the longest.
Straight from beginning to end, this battle just never ends. But only one can come out on top today, and it looks like Rafferty is ready to take it.
Signaling for the elbow drop.
And straight to the back of the neck with that.
And deciding one wasn't good enough. Is he going for the move that he failed to do earlier?
And you just don't have the energy to roll out of it this time.
It's been a long match, Griffin. You'd know that if you were still here.
And there we go. After you eliminated literally everyone else, Rafferty finally seals the deal and takes down the champion.
Let's get reminded about that one time you fell for it, though.
Highly important.
One might say that this match was completely won with high-flying maneuvers.
Emmerich showboated background while everyone's getting beat. I can hear in the background now, you down on the field saying Rafferty only thinks he won the argument, and you'll be back next time.
Really? I thought it was a guy who was dressed like a badger or a raccoon that might have said that. Rafferty really showing the bruises from the match. Apparently bleeding from the hand, something we haven't seen in this competition yet. That or it's blood from another competitor's face.
Injuring himself for his art here, as always. able to finally stand out on top as the best former GM.
If I had to guess, he's broken something in that hand and in his ribs. It's really going to affect the lineup because he's going to be in another match tonight. There's been a question on the minds of the viewers, Griffin, and that question is, who's the real giant in our league?
Oh, you know, that's a good question. We got a lot of good people out there to compete for that title.
Our current Intercontinental Champion, hailing from Babylon 5.
Too good for the main stage, too. Taking the side entrance here.
Well, when you have to take a shuttlecraft down from the international station that's known as Babylon 5, you don't have time to go through the back, or change your clothes from what you wore at home, I guess.
It's the brave competitor that can come to work 5 minutes late in his pajamas and say, I'm ready.
But yes, Griff, this is the bout to determine who the real giant of Know Your Role Raw is. Our three largest competitors in height, not weight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if it was by weight, we'd have half the crew in here.
Or just two people, in fact. Lessons and Robert holding the same weight class.
I believe we already had a bout just like that before, didn't we?
Yes, current GMs. As we both know, Red took that already, weighing nowhere near as much as them.
I almost got afraid right there. I thought that B was a Bitcoin. You didn't sell us out as marketable NFTs, did you?
I'm about to say, that's not a Bitcoin. That's an image of a Bitcoin as an NFT.
Oh, it's gone full circular now, hasn't it?
No worries, Griff. It's only a right-click save JPEG that I've created and then resold as its own NFT.
Here we go. I need to go ahead and take a picture of it just so that I can steal it later.
Yes, that picture will be
Got
its own
it.
NFT as well.
Weighing in at 290 pounds, the X Factor.
Now, some claim that Zojin here is the only giant in the league, but again, there is some confusion given that there are three people in the league that are over 6 feet tall by some margin. So, once again, we are having an elimination match, or a match rather, just to determine who the real giant of the league is, indeterminate of size.
At least amongst the giants here, he definitely is the most intimidating and means the most business, I think. You look at this man and you can only think he's serious about what he's about to do.
Completely inappropriate for COVID. Probably cost him a few fans there. Literally.
Here he is, showboating to the crowd. Let them know that he's the real winner here, no matter what happens tonight.
Despite the fact that opening credits are still rolling. Skull, also his, I would say patented, even though it's a word, catchphrase. Also coming to us from the Hellbent servers.
Just soaking it all in. This is his night. He knows that he's gonna win it.
Some might say his opening is inappropriately long. But then again, we've already covered it's not nearly as long as One Certain Raccoons.
Clearly we need to put these two together in a match just to have 4 minutes of intro. And surprise guest here, Rafferty as the local giant.
Well, I see, if you give your wrestlers a bit of cocaine and some Novocaine at the same time, they tend to forget all the wounds that they've just been through. As you might see from his jittery dancing. I played that more on the cocaine than the Novocaine.
Now the real question is, just how tall is he?
Taller than most is the answer, Griff. Taller than most.
Taller than most. And you say these are our 3 tallest here in the league.
3 tallest competitors in the entire league so far. Gary constantly putting himself in the camera's back.
Gary just needed that extra screen time. He came all the way from Babylon 5 for this. He's not going to miss it.
Got a showboat for the folks back at home on the station.
And now they're staring each other down, waiting for it to begin. Referee calls it. And Zojin just going straight in. Rafferty just letting it happen.
Once again, to most people stand about waist height on Zojin to show you how much of a giant he is, and to show you how comparable our other wrestlers are to him, the fact that they don't stand at his waist.
Right, most of them actually come up to his chin here.
I mean, I
Still one of the
guess
tallest.
the referee is the best to show what a normal person might be, even though the referee is kind of tall himself.
Well, we got 4 giants in, but only 3 are competing. Referee not wanting to get in the way of Zojin over there. Well, Rafferty gets the business.
While Zojin himself does not want to get in the way of a wrestling competition, apparently.
Now here's the real flaw. He's so tall, he can't even grab Gary while he's in the middle of taking down Rafferty.
As you see, each of them goes for a grapple and gets punched by somebody who's not actively in the grapple. Now, we know that Rafferty was just in a massive tournament not long ago. So you got to imagine how long his energy is going to hold out.
Even so, he took Gary straight out of the ring immediately. And as soon as Gary gets back in, he just gets slapped right in the face. And the American tradition continues.
It's a high kick followed by a series of punches directly to the face.
Every single time Zojin makes a decision, everyone else regrets it.
And the ring shakes incredible.
And a rare reversal on him here out of Rafferty. And a tag team.
Yes, punches to the face and feet to the back.
Rafferty, of course, not missing a chance to take that attack of opportunity for Gary, entering his threatening aura.
Once again, Rafferty has to be exhausted by now, so he's got to wonder how much time he has left in and how much hurt he can put on the others before he runs out of steam.
Well, at least he can take a break here while Gary goes ahead and starts handling Zojin. The audience here can feel it, every single shake of that ring.
And Zojin out of the ring, Rafferty to follow, and Indecisive jumps back in.
A quantum step straight from the top of the corner to the bottom of it there out of Rafferty.
I can only assume high technology from Babylon 5 Station is aiding him there.
I think
Zojin
Zojin
calling
there
for
is
his
saying,
death.
he's saying, you can't take him out, I'm gonna kill him myself. But not before he takes care of Rafferty.
It's easy to see the height differential here when the other giants are laying on their backs in the ring.
Each of these two only measuring up to Zojin as much as the referee measures up to them.
That's a move we haven't seen around here very often. Choking your opponent by putting his chest onto the ring and then leaning against him gingerly.
Zojin just constantly ready to walk from one fight to the other without stopping.
With a flying shoulder into the chest of Gary.
And a breakout. Gary still with just enough energy to resist.
And once again, Zojin gets caught showboating.
Rafferty's just absolutely full of energy, raring to go. It might very well be the Novocaine there.
Loving the aerials, though. More aerials than we've seen in any single match so far today by Rafferty.
But you can't deny a man what he loves to do, which is to bring down word from on high. And Zoshin just getting constantly thrown back to the mat every single time he tries to get up here.
That's the problem with being so large. You're an instant target.
Gary, of course, coming out with that magnificent combo reversal straight into a count. But Rafferty is not going to be taken down that easily. He's got a second win left and several other combat saves.
Especially not so close from his winning shot at the GM title. Gary apparently forgetting who's standing right in front of him. Thank God for our quantum entangled ropes.
Just dropping one competitor on top of the other. Zoshin proving that he's twice the giant everyone else is.
Almost 3 count.
We're quite nearly getting there. I don't think either of these two have what it takes to keep up with Zoshin right now.
One of them doesn't appear to have what it takes to get up off the mat.
Rafferty feeling former and current pains all at once.
Apparently Gary's pulling off kicks that we haven't seen from him in the past.
He's got to improvise. He's got to figure a way to take down this absolute madman in front of him. Rafferty about to try to set up, but then realizes he's got to take a save. He remembers what the objective of this game is here.
Showboating, apparently. Showboating is what he thinks the objective of this game is.
I suppose getting a paycheck is also the meta of this.
It was just an ill-timed whatever the hell he thought he was doing there.
Dragging him over to Gary
into
just to
a
keep
most
him close.
inappropriate position.
You've got all the time in the world to mess with your opponents.
Gary crawls his way back up from the bottom and throws a tantrum.
Only to be taken straight back down. I'm not sure Rafferty's even had a chance to get back up in the last several minutes here.
Well, he has to do him pretty well. His feet are literally floating off of the floor. That takes effort. It doesn't just happen.
Even with blood pouring out of his face, Gary is not letting this go.
Oh, as he no-sells Zoshin's foot stomp, and then gets foot stomped anyway. And Gary is just a bloody mess down there.
And Rafferty, finally with the energy he needs back to finish this off, comes in and pins Zoshin for a 2 count. But he's not done yet. Taking a page out of Emrick's book from earlier, recognizing a good combo when he sees them, Zoshin having a seizure.
Doing a one-handed backwards push-up off of the mat.
Just in time for Rafferty to finish setting up his aerial and take him straight back down for another count. Gary's not ready to let this end despite constantly being on the back foot like Rafferty.
It's got to be a lot of blood loss there on Gary's part. That is a massive head wound he seems to be going on with.
Rafferty looks like he's about to finish Gary off for good right there, and Zoshin.
Let's have a quick replay of how devastating that move was.
I'm pretty sure he's dead now.
He's moving more than Pandaren that one time, allegedly.
And with no one left to stop him, can Rafferty pull it off? No, the fight continues. This is now absolutely a one-on-one. I don't think Gary's ever going to get back up from that.
His hands are still moving, and his head's moving back and forth. He is not done yet.
Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. Turns out once you've seen space, the depth of the human spirit is truly open to you.
The flying knee to Rafferty's chin. Gary decides he wants to pull what Rafferty's been doing to him all night.
finally returning the favor, getting back into the ring and saying, no, it's my turn for the 1v1, only to get shown the business again.
I guess Gary just sensed that Zojin was doing another neck thing, which he's not let go the entire time.
Gary really showing he has something more here in store for everyone, other than just being a giant. He's a certifiable new type right here.
Took Zojin down to knee level so he can give him some of that sweet chin music.
And Rafferty come back in to say, I am finishing you off for good, recognizing the weakest opponent.
Or
But
has
not
he? Apparently, you might have forgotten that Gary is bleeding profusely from the head and has taken multiple flying elbows to the gut.
That is true, but yet somehow it just hasn't stopped him. Every single person here is just absolutely full on energy still.
I suppose Rafferty
It's
does have
insane.
the advantage from both the cocaine and the Novocaine.
Definitely doesn't help his stability in the ring. With everyone taking a nap right now, Zoshin decides to go American.
And some reason
poor
decides
Gary.
to go for the submission hold. Historically hasn't worked in any single match happening ever in the league ever.
I gotta say though, I blinked and missed Gary's escape. He was just that slick.
Probably all the blood, Griff. Probably all the blood.
It really does lubricate you out of those holds. Gary trying to figure out which direction he wants to go ahead and deal with Zojin.
As Raph decides to showboat for the other side of the audience.
There truly are no teams or favorites here. Each one of these individuals can honestly be said to be deserving of this title.
It is the Battle of the Giants.
And again, it's always so close.
Gary either dead or taking a nap. Weekend at Bernie style.
We've gone ahead and propped up his corpse for extra entertainment value.
If no one calls an ambulance, he's not dead.
Rafferty thinking again, given that Gary is still up.
Deciding for some reason not to go for the jump.
Considering how successful he's been, he's maybe a fool not to go through with it, but I think he has other plans here. Maybe he still really wants Gary. He's been working on his win condition the entire time.
Oh, placing a foot on the back of his neck and landing him to the ground.
His hubris finally come into play. With Gary as the sudden winner after taking all of the abuse, after all of the pain.
Now, Gary, ironically, was the shortest of all the Giant competitors, is now officially the Giant of the KYRAW.
Giant, new type, and surely a winner in these books.
International champion, representing Babylon 5 and Giants everywhere, Gary. Last name redacted.
And there's just no end of moments in this match. The constant pins, the damage, and the flying breaker.
The
But he
massive
survived
number.
it all.
As soon as he's wiped off his forehead a little bit. Nope, never mind. There it is, coming back in mass. All down.
Oh, it just got even worse.
He might be dead.
At least he might walk to the gold sarcophagus in the back.
Weekend at Bernie's 2 style. He's powered by the music. It's getting worse.
Don't end the music. Keep the track going. We need him for next match.
All right, that's been our matches.
And what a wild ride it was today, don't you think?
We've established at least 2 new competitors. A new belt is on the line. As you can tell, it will be Red Rabbit versus Norman Rafferty to determine who is the best GM of our server.
That's right. And though he may not have won the Giant title here, we might still get away with that GM title.
One assumes. I'm not going to say hopes, because that would mean that I have a rabbit in this fight. I mean...
Well, you'll just have to come back next time on Know Your Raw to see how it all pans out and find who our next champions are going to be. Till next time, I'm Griffin, this is Data, and we'll see ya.